Hi, I'm Gelina and I'm a food enthusiast.
Hi, I'm Pauline. I'm a baking instructor. Hi, Gelina. What is our mission today?
Okay, so both of us are going to turn you into kitchen goddesses and kitchen gods. So how are we going to do that? We're going to show you some hacks for decorating the cake as well as for plating. So we're going to start with Pauline.
Hey, hi. Okay, what I'm going to show you today is a very moist, simple and delicious cupcake with some simple decoration which everyone can do it at home by using our Thermomix. Let's get started. Okay. So here are the ingredients. We have cocoa powder, plain flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda. I'm using raw sugar and eggs, milk, oil and vanilla extract. And after the video, we will provide the ingredient details. So let's sieve the flour. The beauty of this Thermomix is we no need to sieve the flour separately. So what we do is we put in the cocoa powder, plain flour, all our dry ingredients, salt, our baking powder, our baking soda, so we're going to do turbo in 15 seconds. I'll do a 1 second first. Okay, then carry on for another 0.5 seconds for the turbo. Okay, done. And we can't open the cover because this is for safety feature. So we have the back to home. And here we go, we can answer. We can come back here. Okay, the flour has been sifted. So I'm going to transfer it out first.
Looks good, right? So quickly it's sifted and it's done
in
1.5 seconds. Just now Pauline was saying 15 seconds. She got a little bit of a mistake. It's 1.5.
Oh,
it's
sorry,
not
it's 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So we do not need to wash the Thermomix bowl. We just carry on our. But firstly, we have to insert our butterfly for any baking. So we just do it at the high blade there. We just insert.
Yeah, go to the back of the highest blade and put the butterfly in.
Okay, right now, I'm going to pour in eggs, sugar, and we're going to give a mix for just 5 seconds. And for the speed is 3.5. Okay, we are done. So we just stop the machine. So next, we are going to pour in our milk, oil. I'm using corn oil. And also vanilla extract. Okay, we are done.
So Pauline,
yes,
if you use those traditional mixers, how long does it take?
Oh, at least take about 10 over minutes.
So the Thermomix is just so much easier, right?
Yeah,
It's
within 1 minute we can complete everything.
Oh, that's great.
Just within 1 minute. Because right now we are going to put 20 seconds and speed 3 to do a mix.
So everything's in seconds.
Yeah, everything is second.
Like
your
normal, usual mixers. So that's the beauty of using Thermomix.
Yeah, it's within 1 minute we can complete everything, and then we can put into the baking case, and then we just bake it.
That's great.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Yeah.
And without messing the kitchen.
Oh,
that's the beauty of the
That's
Thermomix.
the important thing, right?
Yeah. So
as well as not having that many instruments to use.
Yeah, only one for all. You do not need a sieve, you do not need anything. So right now, we're going to add in the sieve flour. Just now we did. Huh? Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to do a mix again for 5 seconds again. Sweet 3. So later I will stop and then I scrape down the side of the flour. So we'll just do a scrape.
That's important because you want to make sure that everything is well incorporated.
Yes, yes, you have to. But we do not over mix the ingredients.
Okay.
So later we'll do another 5 seconds. That's all.
Right.
Then we
That's
can.
good. What happens when you overmix?
Overmix, it will gluten. It become
okay.
The cake is
You're
not
gonna overwork the gluten, which is not what you want.
Yes.
You want it to be soft and fluffy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's an important thing to remember.
Okay, we lightly scoop it down. Scoop it down. Then we do another last 5 seconds.
So that's another good thing. Everything is in seconds, so your cake is definitely going to be fluffy.
Yes.
Good.
We will. Done.
Oh,
Gelina.
okay, wonderful.
Yeah, we are done. Okay. So right now
It's
we have a
gonna go
look
into
at the
cupcakes.
battles that we it's beautiful. Okay, we are not over mix it. So right now I'm going to pour this into the muffin case about 60%. So after that we can just put in the oven to bake at 170 for 20 to 22 minutes. Yeah. So depends on your house oven as well. Huh? So I'll remove the butterfly, then I'll just pour it. If those who are newly bought the machine, I believe you have the muffin
Tray.
silicone tray. You can use that, the mini one, the same timing. But for the big one, you need to extend a few minutes for that. Because this is almost the same. This is 44 mm. Okay. So over to you. Well, I'm going to prepare the batter.
The first thing you've learned is to do this moist chocolate cake, and that's the dessert. So now what we're going to do is to do your mains, which is a salmon, and I'm going to show you sous vide salmon today. And there are some hacks on how to do the salmon as well, because you need to do water displacement method, which I'll also show you in a minute. So what we need for salmon is we need to marinate it, okay? And today we're going to have a little bit of an Asian touch. So we're going to have miso, and I have chosen to use miso that is organic and is also known as MSG, and that's important because not all misos are created like that, right? So watch the salt content as well. So this is a good miso to have, and I buy that from Hikari. So we also have mirin. We have soy sauce, we have sake, and we have a bit of a little 1/4 teaspoon of sesame oil. This is 2 tablespoons, the rest are 1 tablespoon. The recipe will be given to you later, so you don't have to worry about it now. What we're going to do is put it right into the Thermomix bowl, and then give it a good mix, which is just 20 seconds speed 4. Okay, so this goes into the mixing bowl. And then we have the mirin, we have, oh, that was the sake, and this is the mirin, this is the soy sauce, and then we have a really tiny bit of sesame oil, just to enhance the flavor a little bit. If you like sesame oil, of course, you can put a little bit more than that few 1/4 teaspoon. Put it right in. And do it 20 seconds. Speed 4. So everything with the Thermomix is done in seconds. And that's the beauty because it gives you a lot of efficiency in the kitchen. And we're just counting down. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah, I know. And when it calls you, just stop the sound, wait for the opening arms, lift it off, and you'll see that there's a little bit of splatter. What you do is scrape it down, but since you're going to take it out to marinate the salmon, I'll just scrape down and take it out. So for the salmon, since we're going to do sous vide, the questions typically asked is, do I use a sous vide bag or do I use, you know, like the Ziploc bags? So I went onto internet to check out. Ziploc has promised that their bags are made in such a way that is safe for temperatures that go up to 80 degrees centigrade. But I just want to be really safe. So we can use the Ziploc bag today, and I'm going to show you the Ziploc bag. Those of you at home with the sous vide machine and the sous vide bags, you can actually use that as well and seal it with a sealer. But in this case, I'm going to show you this. So there are two options. You can use the small Ziploc bag. You can also use the big Ziploc bag. Okay, so these are the two bags that I'm going to use. And today, and you'd be wondering, can this big bag go into the machine? Yes, it can, and I'll show you how. Okay, so I'll do that. The other trick about sous videing is this. Make sure that you double bag, because I've had an accident before, right? If I use this kind of bags, I've had an accident before, and before I know it, when I looked in, water has gone into my food. So now I've learned to double bag. So remember that it's good to double bag. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So what we're going to do is get the salmon, and usually this machine, you'd be surprised, can put in 4 pieces of salmon around this size. They are around 100 grams to about 120 grams, and it's just nice to feed one person. So this recipe feeds 4 people. And the thing that you have to do is put the salmon into this into the bag. I'm going to use a spatula. No, I'm going to use a clip or a tongue, okay, and put it in. So what you have to do is to make sure that they lie side by side. So don't pile it one on top of another. Put it side by side. So put them in. So that goes in there. 1.
So what
2.
happened? Sorry, what happened that they put step together?
Well, it's not gonna cook that well, because you want the water to circulate around the meat, right?
I see.
Yeah. So that's the important thing. And straight away, you get this out. So you're just going to scrape it into the bag, okay? So we'll need some help from Pauline.
Sure.
So I'm going to just scrape this so that we get every bit of the sauce. So if you can see, when you did that mixing, it goes to the side, right? So what you're going to do is push it down, take everything out. So I'm going to tip it right over. Of course, when you do it at home, you don't need another pair of hands. Today we're doing it like this so that it doesn't look so messy. Because sometimes when you do it by yourself, you have a little bit more time. So you can take your time to do it. Today we just want to quickly get it done. Okay, so now that everything has gone in, I'm going to scrape every last little thing. Okay, now that everything has gone in, what you do is just give it a good mix. That's the beauty of having a bag, isn't it? So you mix it all over, just squish it around, make sure every inch of salmon has the marinade. And it's good to marinate for about half an hour to 1 hour. I wouldn't recommend marinating more than that because you know how there's breaking down of proteins when you marinate. So for meat, you can do it longer. But for this, the fish, which is like very tender, don't do it too long. So now let's gonna show you how to do the water displacement method, okay? How to get the water and suck it out of this bag. So we're gonna use 1,800 grams of water, and we're also gonna put 30 grams of lemon juice inside, and that's to prevent oxidation for the blades, because we're going to do the sous vide, right? So we're going to have a bowl, and then we're going to pour the water in, and also show you how to fit this right in. So let's get a bowl here, and then we're going to show you very quickly.
Okay, here you go, the bowl is here.
Thanks, Pauline.
Okay.
It's so nifty to have a helping hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do? Just fit it right in. It will slot in. It will just nicely slot in, and it just sits right down. In fact, the other thing to take note is that if you look at it right, it will tell you exactly what speed to spin at. It cannot spin above 1. So it tells you, so don't even try to do anything above. So you sit it right in, and then once it sits in, okay, it sits nicely in the snug. Put it in, so we're gonna pour the water in. Then I'll show you how to sous vide the thing, right? Before sous vide, I'm gonna show you how to.
So Gelina, this is 1008 water?
Yes.
Okay.
1008.
And
why? Because with the fish and with the water, it's going to hit the maximum level.
I see.
You don't want the water to go above the maximum level.
This is mango.
Yeah. So this is your 30 grams of lemon. You must just pour it in. You don't really need the lemon for displacement, but we're going to use it later anyway. Okay, so how do we do? This whole bag is very supple, right? So you can go right in. The trick about water displacement is to make sure that, okay, firstly, zip it up. Zip it up until you have a space for about 1 finger, okay? And make sure that that's in the center, okay? So make sure that you have space for about 1 finger. Put your finger in, zip it all the way that you can. Squeeze everything down the water, everything down the water level. Down, 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 until the water level is almost at the base of your zipping line, okay? And then take your finger out and just tighten it. And you have vacuumed your meat or your salmon. See?
I see.
It's beautifully vacuumed. All the water is out.
Amazing.
And then what you do is later, if you wanna do a sous vide, you just dump it in. Then just make sure that it's submerged. So it gets submerged, and it's like at the maximum line. Okay. So right now I'm gonna just put this in a cool place to marinate it for half an hour, okay? So while we do that, we want to heat this up. Okay. So Pauline will help me. Put this in the fridge or in a cool place at home, anywhere cool. And we're going to call up the kettle mode to heat this to 50 degrees. So we'll go to your kettle mode, and if you click on the kettle mode, it will show you the degree, and also the kettle is really good. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to figure out, oh, how many minutes, right? You don't have to, because it's all pre-done for you. So you just select 50 degrees centigrade and just on, and it's already preheating.
Wow,
so that's
easy.
great. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna shift over to this side and just show you very quickly the next one. So you notice that this is a little bit messed up, right? And we're gonna do the spiced cashew. So I'm gonna do a very quick rinse. So at home, do the same thing, just a very quick rinse. Yeah, so just a really quick rinse. You don't wanna get the strong miso flavor mixing with your cashews. So for cashews, we're gonna use, obviously, cashews, and we want 60 grams of cashews, and we want them toasted. So that enhances the flavor. And also nuts has a phytic level that protects the nuts. So that's why you always hear words like sprouting the seeds and soaking the nuts. Why? You want to remove the phytic level away, and that's a natural occurrence because that protects the seeds and the nuts. But it sometimes doesn't work for our digestive system. It sometimes makes it disturbs it, and some people who have irritable bowel syndromes will find it even worse when they eat things like this. So the good practice is to either sprout your nuts or soak it overnight. In this case, cashew is quite delicate. You just roast it. If you don't want to soak it, just roast it. Because if you soak it, it gets wet. You have to dehydrate it and dry it, then roast it. That's quite a long process. So if you don't want to do all that, so that's another hack. So just now we showed you one hack. So the second hack is, instead of just soaking your nut, roast it. Okay? How do you roast it? Just 10 to 15 minutes in the oven at about 175 degrees centigrade. Midway through, just toss it. Watch the oven because they do get black. So just make sure that it's nicely brown. It'll be good. So take the cashew, and then of course we've got some spices. You can use peppercorns. I use Sichuan peppercorns. You can use the black peppercorns. You can use the white peppercorns, up to you. We've got a little bit of spice powder, so to enhance the flavor. Some salt, Paprika, I chose it because you don't really need paprika, but I chose it because it's kind of a Christmassy feast and we want a little bit of that red. So it's meant for garnish. But if you don't want, fine, leave it. And then of course we need a little bit of oil to get the whole thing going because we're going to saute it. So how are we going to do this now? Thanks a lot, Pauline.
No problem.
So we have a clean bowl. At home, it doesn't matter. It can be a little bit messed up as long as it doesn't carry over the strong miso flavor, right? So put everything in. I'm going to put all the dry stuff in first. Oh, for this thing, just watch it because the quantities are so little. Don't just throw it in because it's going to sit on the blade, sit everywhere, but get cooked at the base of the bowl. So always put in between the blade. Make sure that it doesn't sit on the blade. So you have this, you have that, the salt, and then the oil. So make sure nothing goes onto the blade. This one can go onto the blade because end of the day it's just gonna work. So what we're gonna do is to cover it. No, we don't need this because this is going to go right at the end as a garnish to kind of give up that festive flavor of red, right? So what we're going to do next is to give it a little bit of a cook, right? So we're going to do, say, just do like 120. And we're just going to do saute it. Oops. We're going to do reverse. We're going to saute it for about 0.5 to 1, about 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Oh, thanks, Pauline. She's so efficient. Everything is clean now. So while we're sauteing, we're going to do this very quickly. Set this aside, and then we're going to jump over to Pauline because she's going to teach us how to do the whipped cream. Yes. So that's always a little bit of a trick around it, right? Because at home, when you do cakes, you would feel doing whipped cream is so troublesome, but Pauline's going to show you a good hack to do it really quickly.
Yes.
Okay? So let's just wait for this to get done.
Okay. With Thermomix, I think we whip the whipped cream is very easy, especially for also buttercream as well. It's so simple that you don't need a double boiler. You can just do all in one pot. That's Thermomix. And then they control the temperature well also. But today we're going to show you is the whipped cream. So we are not going to use any temperature to cook the cream. We have to be chilled. The cream have to be chilled. So let me share with you about the just now the recipe that we are going to give you for the 2 eggs. In fact, you can make 12 cupcakes for the 44 mm, as well as you can make a lunchbox size, the 4.5-inch cake. So later I will show them what's the size going to be. Like they call it bento now. I think it's very in
that's
bento size.
The current craze. Bento cakes.
So we don't eat so much as well.
And I think that's good.
Festive.
Yeah,
I think
it's so much healthier.
We overeat.
So you control what you consume.
So just imagine 2 eggs. You can make 12 cupcakes and 1 bento.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you have a choice. You can come up with 1 cake, a tiny one, or you can come up with mini cakes that are kind of bite-sized.
Yes.
Yeah,
we can.
That's great.
So I think we will have a check at the cake. Let me just check.
Okay, Pauline's going to check the cake. We're going to be done here. So just now, typically when we saute our food, right, we always do 120 degrees centigrade. I did a peek at the recipe. The recommendation is Varoma. So midway, I've switched it to Varoma. And I think they want to get it heated up so that you get better fragrance. And we're kind of done very fast. Again, with the Thermomix, you don't even have to break out in sweat. You don't even have a dirty kitchen. Everything is clean, and all the action is done in one bowl. So that's the beauty about getting this machine. And if you're still considering, get it because you will not regret. And Christmas is around the corner. You can just whip out a wonderful feast for your family. So that's something to look forward to, and you can use the recipes today to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the water is now boiled. We can actually start doing our sous vide. So why don't we try to put the salmon in and start our sous vide? Okay. So
let me get the salmon for you.
Yeah. It's sitting cool in the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
So again, just put it right in. At 50 degrees, for some of you, you may find it hot, but for me it's okay. It's 50. You can put your entire hand inside, right? Close the sink. So I've read online that for sous vide salmon, the best temperatures is around 45, 50, 52, 55. They won't recommend to go above 60. So today I've chosen to do it at 52. And the timings can vary about half an hour to 40 minutes. I'm going to do half an hour and at 52, okay? So where do we go and find the sous vide mode? Let's find our sous vide mode. It is right here. So we select 52 degrees and then we do half an hour. Okay, and then we start the sous vide. Okay, that's done.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, we have our spiced cashew. It smells really, really good. Have a whiff.
Wow,
How does it go?
it's nice. Huh? Smells good.
Oh, I like it too. Okay, so it looks like this. If you just want to decorate your stuff, the things that you want to decorate, meat, fish, you can use whole cashews, but in this case, I just want to show you how we want to chop it a little bit so that we get a little bit of, like the restaurant, the way some of the chefs do. So, and then with the Thermomix, easily within one bowl, you just switch back to, now that it's done and it's cooked, you just want to chop it. So let's do a quick 5 seconds, speed 4. So chopping is speed 4.
Oh, that's very fast.
I know. And you wanna, it's noisy. You wanna, not a fine grain, you want a kind of grainy texture. So that's why it's just 5 seconds, okay? So take a quick look. There, we've got our grainy cashews, okay? So this is done, and we're gonna set this aside. At this point, if you wanna drop in the paprika and mix it all up, it's fine, but I'm gonna just put it out and then put the paprika in. If you do that, of course, you waste another plate, right? So if you just wanna quickly do it, I'll show you. Just drop the paprika in, and it takes on that festive red look, right? So beautiful. And then what you do is just scrape it all down, and then it's just gonna go on top of the fish later. So that's all you need to do for the fish. Okay, so Pauline's gonna show you how to do the whipped cream.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, the cake, we have another 4 minutes to go, so later we will check with the skewer. So once the skewer go in, it's clean, that means the cake is cooked. So we have another 4 minutes to go. Let's start the whipped cream first. Okay, before we put in the whipped cream have to be chilled. So, and we have to insert the butterfly as well, as for beating the whipped cream. Gelina, you don't mind the whipped cream?
I'm gonna help.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So we weigh about 200 grams for our 12 cupcakes.
There you go,
And,
the whipped cream.
And I will need the sugar as well.
And you need your sugar, okay.
So we are using this brand of whipped cream. We put about 200 grams. Oh, sorry.
Just take a cloth to
sorry.
wipe it.
Thanks, Gelina. Thank you.
Just
okay. So, because this is non-sugar, so I'm going to add about 10% of the sugar to whip this cream. So it's about 20 grams. Oh, sorry, 10%, so it's about 20 grams.
so it's the fine sugar, right?
Yes, it's very fine. So we are back to home again. So we have to set it for 2 minutes 10 seconds and a speed 3.5. Sugar is very individual, but you can only cut down, the minimum is about 8% of your whipped cream. So preferably 8 to 10%, it works well for the whipped cream. Okay, we left 1 minute for the cupcake. Let's just, while this is heating, we have a look. Let me just take out the cupcakes.
So everything is so convenient with the Thermomix. We're doing our sous vide and we're doing our creams. So after this, Pauline's going to show you how to decorate the cake really simply, and it's going to look really cute. Very nice.
Okay, we have done our 12 cupcakes. But I did pre-prepare a cold one because while waiting for this cupcake to be cooled down before we can put the whipped cream, I have already prepared a few for the demonstrations. So these are the pre-baked, Gelina.
Okay.
The pre-baked is already cooled down. Yeah.
So what are we going to do today?
Yeah, we'll wait for the whipped cream and then we'll do some simple decoration, which is everyone can do it at home.
That's
by
great.
Using some M&M, strawberry, some festive, colorful topper. Yeah. We are almost there, another 30 seconds. Okay, let's open up this first.
Okay, come, let's do the opening.
Thank you.
These are just very common things that you can find at home. We intentionally didn't buy all these, extra stuff, which sometimes that's one of the things that deter people from doing cakes, because you think, oh my goodness, I have to invest in so many little tiny decorative stuff just to make the cake beautiful, and it just costs too much. So in this case, something simple.
Okay, well we prepared the decoration stuff. It's already done. Let's have a look.
How does the whipped cream look?
Yeah, done. It's
Wonderful.
very stable. It's very stable.
Yeah, so that's great.
Okay.
So if you use a mixer, how long does it take?
At least 5 minutes.
Wow,
5
okay.
minutes.
Look at that. How much time you save
Yeah.
with the Thermomix?
So at home, if you have a piping bag, you can put inside the piping bag with some tips if you have. If you don't have, it's okay. You can even use a Ziploc bag like just now, Gelina.
Okay,
You are using the Ziploc bag.
how
It's
do we
fine.
do it?
Just
Come,
cut
let
a
me just
hole
take
also can.
the Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
So what do? Put the cream inside?
Yeah, you can also put the cream and then cut at the side. You want to
I
try
see,
with that?
I see.
Then let me do the piping bag.
Okay. So you put it in like this and just cut the edge.
Yes.
And just pipe as well?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
so
have a
that's
round
another
shape.
nifty hack to remember. You don't have to buy any special piping bags. Just use what you have at home.
So we just make it one round and then we can see our strawberry. Okay. Then another one we can just. Okay, for this, I'm going to use the mint leaf and one M&M to create the design for the Christmas.
You piped it out so prettily.
Thank you. I think everyone.
And then you smashed it.
Everyone can do. No. This one is because it's for a special design. That's why I want to show you guys a different design.
I know.
This one you can pipe a shape.
That's
yeah.
pretty on its own.
Yeah,
You
this is a rosette.
You don't want to smash it, so that looks really nice already.
Yeah, you can have a rosette design, or you can either do it this way. Okay, let me wear a glove, then I'll get the samples.
Okay, so if you use a Ziploc bag at home, then yeah, do that, because as long as you get the cream on top. In fact, you don't need a Ziploc bag to do this, right? You take a spoon and kind of smooth it off.
But because I want to show them about
the
this,
rosette,
yeah,
okay.
the rosette. You can even no rosette. You don't have a tape. You just make a round, cut a hole, and then it's just a round shape.
I see.
It's very simple.
Right.
Yeah. I need help, sorry. Okay, let me, while waiting for this.
There you go.
Thank you, dear. Yeah. Okay. You can just put the strawberry at the center, then you push it down.
Okay.
Okay. And you do give another part for the head.
The tip of the hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just do a
So
small
this
one.
is kind of like a little Santa hat.
Yeah.
So that's clever.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So for this,
It's a cute little Santa hat. Okay, that's pretty.
you choose a pretty one, huh?
Okay.
Can use it easily. So we can have a small one again.
Another
One
small one?
Yeah, you don't mind? You help me take another small one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I should wear a glove too.
No worry. Just put a small one. So this is looking too small. Let me just remove this. Just remove this. Then you put your M&M. Yeah. You can adjust. So here you go.
Oh, okay. It looks like a little bit, a
I
little
have
holly.
the pre-mix. Let me show you. So beside that, you can just use all this colorful sprinkle to use it, or you can just sprinkle some gold sugar. Yeah, I will show you guys about the 12 Christmas cake that I have pre-made it.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is simple to be done at home.
Yeah. So you
That
can do it at
has a
home if I have
touch.
the time. You can do like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So you form a Christmas tree. And just now about the bento cake, I will show you guys also.
That's so pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, this is done by, of course, a person who is professional. Okay. At
Yeah.
home, we do this, right? But it still looks really good.
Okay, just now I have mentioned that you can do a bento cake. So this is the recipe. You can do another cake size of this. Then you can just put on your decoration stuff over here. And as a gift, I think it's beautiful. Yeah.
That's pretty too.
Yeah.
And it's easy to make.
Easy. So
Right.
those who don't like too much cream, you can just do this and add some snow sugar. Yeah, a simple cake. Yeah. I hope you like it.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Something you can do easily at home. So you find that it's very achievable, right? Okay. So next, so what we have shown you is a cake, which is dessert for your meal. And then we've shown you how to do the salmon and how to do the sous vide. So now we're just gonna put the salad together, okay? So we've done,
We're done the
just put it
cake.
one
I'll just
side.
make,
What
yeah.
I'm gonna do is bring the items in for the salad. Again, we'll use the Thermomix to help us.
I give you.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna show you how to quickly. So just now, if you have that one Thermomix, right, what do you do? Okay, you unload your cashews. And then you give this a quick rinse. And then you put your sauce. So how do you do the dressing for your salad? We have, typically for salad dressings, you need the oil, you need the acid, and then you need flavorings, okay? So today we have olive oil. The acids are apple cider vinegar, which is very healthy. And I've added in a little bit of lime to lift up the flavor. And we have some runny honey. So, you know, it's kind of like liquidy. And then, of course, a little bit of mustard and some sea salt. So, very simple. We just have a handful of ingredients, 6 ingredients, and then put it in for a quick mix. And then you get your dressing for your salad. And in this case, today we are going to show you a simple salad. The base of the salad would be, of course, salad leaves, and you can use any kind. I really love romaine lettuce, so today I chose romaine lettuce, but of course you can use the mixed ones, and you can use any leaves that you like, any, because salads are that versatile. And when you layer the salad, you have the base leaves, and then right on top you can add something festive. So I've chosen to put cranberries. Cranberries again has a pop of red. It makes it very festive, so that's why I chose cranberries. But on normal days, if you don't feel like cranberries, you can put nuts, you can put seeds, you can put fruits, you can put tomatoes, anything that you like really. This dressing is very, very versatile. So once you've learned to do it, you can put it onto any salad of your choice. Okay? So again, in the bowl goes all of the ingredients. Really simple to do. Put everything in, and then just give it a good mix, and you've got it. So what does the mixing do? It helps to emulsify the oil with the rest of the ingredients so that you get a very incorporated dressing. Instead of, if they were put separately, they would be all liquidy, but if you do the bit of that quick mix, you get an emulsified end dressing, which is what you want. And then of course a little bit of your salt. Oops, okay, my salt. Again, you can, all of these are to your own liking. You can increase it, you can decrease it. If you don't like too much sugar, decrease your sugar. Okay? Again, 20 seconds, speed 4. In fact, you can do 10 seconds, but let me just do 20. You can do 10 speed 4, 20 speed 4. At 20, you probably get a little bit more emulsified. Anyway, we're talking about seconds. What is 20, right?
Yeah.
So 10, 15, 20, it works. And we're done. So that's your salad dressing. How simple can that be? Pour it over your salad, and that's all you need. Okay, there you go, your emulsified dressing. So now we're going to show you how to plate the salmon. Okay, so we've got 12 minutes to our salmon. Great. Scrape this up as well because you want every little bit of your thing. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so how are we going to do our plating for salad? So the first thing we do, get a plate. I think I'm going to use the orange plate. Get a festive looking plate. If you don't have, it's fine. As long as it's any plate. Put in the base. So this portion is for 4. I've chosen some romaine lettuce. I've washed my hands earlier. So you can use coriander leaves as well. I've put some coriander leaves. I've gotten some avocado. Okay, so what you have to do is make sure that everything goes to the center of the plate. And then you can add in things like mandarins for a pop of color. Okay, I've done little tiny mandarins. And finally, you can then put in your, sprinkle some cranberries on it. Okay, and then you get your beautiful, very festive looking salad. And then once you're done with that, you just put your dressing on it. Okay. So this dressing, when I portioned it out, it was slightly more. It can be done the day before. It can be put in the fridge. In fact, it can be kept in the fridge for like 4 days or so. So do it in advance. And any excess you can use for other dressing, other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to just pour like a tablespoon
So how long we can
of
keep
dressing
the salad
inside.
dressing?
A tablespoon to 2. 4 days in the fridge.
4 days in the fridge.
Yeah. So that's it.
That's
Simple
very
as
easy.
that. And you have your salad for the starter for your meal. So you can see now you have the ending, the dessert, and then you have a starter. So what we're going to do in 9 minutes is to get the salmon out, and then to show you how easy it is to put the salmon together. What else do you want to share, Pauline, when you use the Thermomix to do your cake?
Okay, it's all in one, so it's
Yeah.
very simple because you don't mess up the kitchen. Especially, I like the beauty of this Thermomix is the way they sieve the flour is fast, and then I also wash lesser utensil. If not, I will need to have a big basin, another sieve to do it, and then you mess up the table as well. So I think it's pretty easy and simple, and then the time is really shortened a lot.
Right.
Instead of you have to take another mixing bowl and whip the cream again, and it takes times.
So how many equipment do you need normally? If you don't even have a Thermomix, how many things do you use?
Sometimes I will need a blender to blend some cake sandwich stuff like mango puree, anything.
So
I
you can
need
now
another
use this.
mixer all
Right.
in one. I only use this.
Right.
Especially cooking temperature stuff, control well. It's very, very well controlled. And the timing, I don't need to worry. It just relax.
Set it.
I can have a cup of coffee
Right.
while
Instead of
waiting,
watching.
while waiting for the cooking time. Yeah. It's really
That's
helped a lot.
wonderful.
It's helped a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe now it's time to think about getting a Thermomix. If you haven't already decided, Christmas is around the corner, and you can buy it as gifts for your loved ones, and then be surprised and surprise the loved one also with a wonderful dinner. Okay. So as you can see with the Thermomix, you can almost get restaurant standard cooking at home, and that's something that is fun to do. The other thing is that Thermomix makes things very fast, which is what Pauline says. One more thing for the Thermomix, it gives you very healthy food because it doesn't even go above 120 degrees, and that's so important, right? Because you want your food to be good and healthy and nutritious. Anything more actually destroys the vitamins and minerals in the food, and that's not what you want. Sous vide cooking is a type of cooking that water baths, constant temperature water bath around your food, so it keeps the food moist, and that's important.
Wow.
Why? For the recipes later when we share it, you can tell that you can see that one of the steps that I've recommended putting the fish finishing it into the oven is because some people don't like to eat raw fish, or they are very concerned about parasites in fish. So in about 70 or 80% of the salmons in the world, you do get a parasite called anisakis. So these parasites die as long as you just subject it to heat, just 15 seconds of heat, as long as it's above about 62 degrees centigrade. So you notice that for this, to get that really nice, moist salmon, the recommendation is 52 to 55. I'm doing 52. That's why in my recipe, I'm suggesting to finish up in the oven at 200 degrees just for about 5 minutes, 5 to 8. Don't put it any longer because it's going to cook your salmon further and change it into something a little bit harder. It's not so nice. It dries the salmon up, and it's no more nice to eat. So if you put all the effort to do sous vide, you want it nice and moist, keep it to like under 5 minutes, 5 to 8. You can either grill it at 200, just activate the top of the oven, or do a convection cooking, and it's about like just 5 minutes and it's done. So it's as simple as that. Now the other thing to watch is you can get sashimi quality salmon. So if you do get sashimi quality salmon, sometimes you find yourself putting it into the fridge, and then you do it, maybe you tell yourself, oh, let's eat it within 2 hours. But then, you know, sometimes you kind of hit that 2-hour mark and you're thinking, should I eat the salmon or not, right? So we dump it into the sous vide, and at 52, it works. It just cooks the salmon really well, okay? So we're at 4 minutes. What else do we want to
okay, maybe we can
share?
share about the Thermomix, which I shared. Recently I cooked sambar, which is hebi hiam. It's amazing because it really takes time to fry the hebi hiam, and it took me about, although it's 45 minutes, but I can relax, sit back and relax.
Yep.
I don't need to stand there and stir with all the blushing absorbed in my hair, you know. There's no smell at all. I can dress up and then I just leave it. I just sit, watch my drama show, and then I come back to the kitchen. The table is so clean, and not like the traditional one. My whole kitchen and whole hall is full of oil smell.
And
so that's very amazing. Yeah, blushing smell is the killer. So it's very impressed by this. That is my recent cooking.
That's your recent cooking
experience?
experience?
Besides dessert, I really like hebi hiam. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I've
done that too. I've done the hebi hiam. And the entire house has a nice fragrance of the hebi hiam, but it doesn't get oily.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't get
oily. There's no fumes.
Yes.
So that's what I really love about the machine. Okay, so 2 more minutes. We're just counting down.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to complete your meal with a soup, because sometimes when you go to a restaurant, you have soup, you have salad, you have the main meal, and then you have the dessert, right? So one quick, my favorite, absolute favorite, all-time favorite soup recipe is on Cookie Dough, and it's called Versatile Soup. It's the most amazing recipe. Why? Because you know, whenever you prepare vegetables, you have the ends, you have the odds. You take away, like for example, broccoli, you cut the florets off, you have the stem. You don't want to waste the stem. I take away the fibrous outer layer, I still have the inner stem. Some of us, of course, can be bothered to slice it really nicely and add it back into your food, right, to cook broccoli. I actually keep that. I keep some of the ends of my vegetables, my carrots, stems of the more woodier parts of the asparagus. So things that you don't really want, keep it aside. Once you amass, like say 700-800 grams of it, use the versatile soup recipe. It uses any vegetables, any.
That's amazing.
Any combination of, doesn't matter what they say. You have leftover peas, you have leftover carrots. Sometimes when you have a certain recipe and you've got like, okay, I've used 450, what do I do with the 50, right? Keep that aside. Put everything together, add up to that 700, dump in the soup. You'll get a really nice soup, really nice. I've done all combinations, and every combination is nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me try.
Try it.
Okay.
So try that, and if you put that into this whole thing, you're going to be able to serve a soup, a salad, a main meal, and dessert. Wow, right?
Wow.
So this Christmas, try that. So you're going to have a simple, delicious, and healthy meal for your Christmas for your family. It's almost like restaurant dining at home.
Yeah,
so isn't that
impressed.
great, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's down to the last bit. In fact, the timer has gone to already 0, so it's just setting down a little bit. Okay, so let's do a little bit of last bit. So prepare our plate. Again, any black or white plate. I love to use just simple color plates, so black or white is good. If you want to be like a chef, of course you can use even prettier plates, but to me, white, black plates is good.
Done.
Okay. Yep, it's done. So for the reveal, how does the salmon look like? Wow, wow, it looks really, really good. Okay, so it's all done up.
You want the plate to just...
Yeah, it's all done up. Okay, let's take the salmon out. Slowly, slowly. Be careful, at this point, salmon that's just done like this is superbly, superbly tender. Okay. One thing to note for salmon that has been marinated in miso, you know how miso is so salty, right? So you want to scrape off all the miso from the surface. You know, you don't want to have any too much miso. Okay, it's not any, but too much miso. You don't want too much of it. You want to take your salmon piece out, kind of use the bag and kind of scrape out the last bit of miso. Put it onto the plate, kind of like at an angle. Okay, so that's the trick. Put on the plate at an angle. The other trick to do is this. So how do you plate something? Do it from a height. Okay, so hands from a height. Okay, just drop it.
Wow.
And that's how it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's beautiful.
So
it's very nice.
that's the hack. Drop it from a height. Okay, or even if you do pepper, drop it from a height. And it just looks good. And of course, you wipe the rest off the table. And then you just put on a leaf, okay? So,
The leaf is there.
yeah. So, for example, if you want to kind of put the last bit of decoration, just put one leaf on it, and it's done. Okay, so that's how you do the hack for your salmon, and that's all we have. So have we delivered on what we promised, you think,
yes.
Pauline?
Yes, we did.
Do you think you're going to be able to do up a simple meal for your family?
Yeah.
I think so,
It's
right?
very simple.
Yeah,
and
okay,
quick
so,
one.
well, bye for now, and we're just going to see you next time. So
Yeah,
we're
we
so
hope
happy
you
to be
enjoy.
here, and we from the Thermomix, we've been invited by Thermomix, and we're so happy to be here. So bye for now.
Bye. Bye.